Alright, hey everyone, this is Dresden with the Game Summoners, and today I'm actually bringing you my Chaos Breaker Dragon deck. This deck isn't really complete, but it's still actually really good. For my starters, I actually run two, which not a whole lot of people do. But this is good because you can use him as your opener, and like with Linchu and whatever, they'll kill this guy off, which he's pretty much just you lock and he bounces, so he's a free 10k shield, so he makes up for like any 5k you took out. But also he's like a distraction. They kill off this, you still got this in your deck, and you can still, and I'll show you actually why I do keep him in the deck. But that's pretty much just, that's simple. And then next for my grade 3s, I run 3, but soon to be 4 Chaos Breakers. He's not bad, because during MomoCon I didn't have 3, I actually had 2. So I ran 2 of him. And he's really good. Like, this deck doesn't give a whole lot of mid-game pressure. It's more of, as soon as he hits the field and you start locking crap, your opponent has to play your game. But if you're playing something and you really want to get some mid-game pressure, you have him. And because what he does is you ride, you lock, you counter blast 1, you lock something and he gets plus 5k. So if you combo him with like infinite 0, you can triangle lock, he gets plus 15. And you can hit if you have like a 7k booster, and it'll drop hand. And then you can just, if you're able to, you can just ride into infinite 0 again, and then ride into this after killing your opponent's resources. And it's a really good combo. It's actually won me a lot of games doing that. But next is 4 Break Ride. Obviously, I mean this is Chaos Breaker. You gotta have your Break Rides because you lock 3 and it's game, and it's absolutely devastating because then your opponent knows they're dead. And you get to draw plus 3, so it can screw your opponent over so much, especially if they're running something that requires field like Alfred or anything else of that sort. It can get pretty disgusting. Next is 4 12k attackers, because if you can actually hit him early game, he's not bad to providing more pressure to your opponent. And it's really good. Next is, not a whole lot of people run this card. It's actually next is 3 Mobius Breath. Now, everybody hates on him because he is a Vanguard hitter. Like, he has to be on Vanguard, and you have to hit Vanguard to lock something. But if you have him, and him on the field, like these two in the same column, you've got him, your opponent is not going to let him hit. Hell, your opponent isn't going to let him hit, period. And if they don't have a 10k attacker, on your, and they have like a 9k, and you throw your starter behind him, you get an instant plus 2 because you attack, it hits, he bounces, you lock something, and he gets an instant plus 3. And then this is attacking for, no, he gets an instant plus 2, my mistake. This is still attacking for even more numbers that your opponent has to guard with. So your opponent doesn't let him hit very often. But when they do, you can absolutely punish them for it. And he's easy for if your opponent still lets him hit. He's an easy, I'm going to like block you from getting another attack next turn, which can be really helpful, especially when fighting like something that, like Aqua Force, or something that can attack so many times in one turn. And then next is a 2 Colony Maker. I tried running 4. It doesn't work out because she's pretty dead mid-game. When you don't have him or Multiverse on the field, and you don't Break Ride or anything, because she's really dead. She can't do much. All she can do is sit there and be a 9k attacker, and that's good and all. But if it's not critical. Normally, what you want to do with her is you want to lock something. You want to use her skill, call him out, counter blast 1, shove him into the soul, and you get another instant free lock and free soul for 2 counter blasts. So it's not a bad combo. But if I already have him in my hand, or maybe I just don't want to get him, and it's more beneficial for me to get, like, say, a Lanthium or something, you can do that too. But a best play is to use him to get him into the soul. Next, for the final grade 2s, is 2 10k attackers. These actually come in really handy, especially, like we've said in our other videos about 10k attackers. And they're just like good to throw into the rear guards if you need them to, and because you need to get an extra attack in one turn, because you really want to try and get that pressure. So they come in clutch when you need it. They're really good. And then 4 perfect guards, because perfect guards are OP. Just count it, just no matter what you drop. And with this deck, you're gonna have a lot in your hand, so it's not gonna be very hard to drop something. And another point about actually going back to Mobius is that if you don't get him grade 2, if you don't get to ride him grade 2, but even if you do, you still have 2 more in your deck, so you can use as fodder for perfect guards, for Chaos Breaker, for anything that needs it. And it's really good because you have an instant card. You can just be like, oh, I don't want it anymore, drop, and it's good. Next is 3 Lanthiums, because 4 take up a lot of space, especially for the other grade 1s I have in my deck. And 3 is really all you need. Like, you will most likely get him during the turn, especially during Chaos Breaker. Because if you want, you can just ride Chaos Breaker, ride Infinite Zero, ride Chaos Breaker, ride Infinite, and then continue that loop. And you'll always have at least 2 cards in your soul to kill for something. And it's really good. So he will always be like a... He'll always be like a 4K. He'll always be an 11K boost. And he's 11K boost for anything. Because I actually used to run the personal booster. And then I realized, no, he doesn't work very well. Lanthium works so much better. Next is Palamidium, because he's broke. Because you just counterblast 1, shove him into the soul, and lock something again. You can actually, this is a very legal move. You can counterblast, at the end of your opponent's turn, you can counterblast 1. You can put him into the soul, and use Chaos Breaker skill to shove him right out of the soul. You don't kill the locked unit, but you get to draw a card. So your opponent is still sitting there in absolute agony because you've locked something for another turn. They don't get to replace it, and you just got a free card. Next is 3 10K attackers. I actually don't use this card very much, because I normally get him like late game, and I just use him for boost. Because I'm normally having to ride like this guy or a perfect guard, which is funny because whenever I ride a perfect guard, it's interesting because for some reason I win the game. It's odd. Or I just ride like Lanthium, which isn't the ideal ride. It's more ideal to ride him so that way you still have more resources, but it's not. It works. Now for my trigger lineup, I run 7 crits, because, sacking your opponent for a crit is always fun. And then 5 draw. Oops. My mistake. You 5 draw, because you don't really need a whole lot of draw power, so you could run, like as soon as set 15 comes out, you could run 12 crit, because you want to screw your opponent's life. But draw triggers are nice to cut when you don't have like Chaos Breaker and you might need a little bit of extra hand. So it's good to always know that you'll have just a little bit more. And then of course, finally, pretty standard 4 heals. So anyway, that was my deck profile of.
Did you do the crits?
I did my crits.
Okay.
That was the deck profile of my Starvader Chaos Breaker Dragon deck. He's a lot, so it's best if you just want to run 2 and you want to run mid-game pressure, run Multiverse, because he's an easy promo, and wrong card. He's an easy promo, and he works so well. But yeah, anyway, be safe, everybody, and have a good day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.